Hi, it's Caitlin from Caitlin Swatches, obviously, and I'm here today with the most incredible Shifty shimmery polishes. They kind of blew my mind. In addition to those Shifty shimmery polishes, I've also got some new reflective glitters from Glisten Glow, which are currently available on their website. I will link the shop down in the description. And then the ridiculously shimmery Mermaid collection will be launching at Polish Beauty Expo on July 15th and 16th in Chicago. But if you can't make it to Chicago, which I can't, and probably most of you can't, you will be able to buy them online after, and I will include the specifics of when they'll be available online in the description as well. And with all of my Glisten and Glow videos, I always use their top coat. It's one of my top two. I usually use the cuticula because I like the clear brush, and I think you like seeing me swatch polishes and apply top coat with a clear brush, but I also super love the Glisten and Glow Top Coat. It is an amazing product. So I'm gonna be using that for my swatches. It's super glossy, and let's get into it. The first polish that I'm showing you from the 6-piece Mermaid collection is Mermaid's Drink Mermosas. And this one is a light orange jelly filled with color shifting shimmer that shifts from gold to orange to red to green to pink. And as you can probably see, the shimmer particle size in this polish and the others in the collection is on the larger side. I don't know what it would actually be classified as. It's probably a medium size. And it's really interesting because it adds just like multi-dimensional shifts to the polish, and it also adds a bit of sparkle when you get your nails in the sun. So in comparison, you know, there's other shimmer polishes that look very smooth and integrated, whereas this is sort of got all these little particles reflecting light at different times, so you get multiple shifts on your nails all at once. So this one I did in 2 coats, but probably I could have done 3, but for me it covered my nail line in 2. And here's where the magic happens. So this polish is showing off a lot of yellow and gold at first, and then when you get at more extreme angles, you're getting that green, definitely seeing the pink, and there's hints of red there at the tip of my nail. So this is honestly really shifty and really unique in my collection. I didn't have anything I could compare it to. Next up, we have Mermaid Wishes and Starfish Kisses. And this one is a light green jelly polish loaded with color shifting shimmer that shifts from gold, orange to red to pink to green. So the same kind of color shift in this one. And this is like a minty green base. So in the bottle, it appears to be quite green, but interestingly enough, on the nail, I found that it came off as a little lighter and a little more blue. And I think that's because it's a jelly and a little bit on the sheer side. So this one, I opted to build it up in 3 coats so you could see a more opaque look. And if you have longer nails than me, you'll probably be doing 3 coats. And honestly, the color doesn't change that much on the 3rd coat. It just covers the nail line a little bit better. And these polishes do dry down just a little bit dull, so you definitely want a glossy top coat. And I am using the Glisten and Glow top coat, which is quick drying, ultra shiny, just really glossy. It doesn't cause any shrinkage. It's a great top coat. So this one, I think just by the nature of the base color, is even shiftier than the previous polish. And this one is totally beautiful. So you definitely see the pink, you definitely see the green, the gold, the orange, the red. It's all in your face right there, super easy to see. Usually I'm getting multiple color shifts on each finger at any given time. And I love how these also kind of look foily. I think it's because of the larger sized particle, it just gives off a really bold look on the nail. So if you like bold nail polish, you'll love this collection. And I thought that there might be some questions and comparisons between some Bee's Knees lacquers that came out in 2022. So that one on the right is Magic is Life from Bee's Knees lacquer, and they're pretty similar. You can sort of see for yourself. I think the Bee's Knees lacquer might be a slightly different shade of green, but the color shifts are similar and the particle size is also quite similar. Now here we have Splashy and Sassy, and this one is a bright pink jelly polish filled with color shifting shimmers that shift from pink, purple, blue to orange, so a slightly different color profile in the shimmer pigment for this one. And this one I would say is the least rainbowy of the collection, but spoiler, it's also maybe my favorite. So this one has a really great formula, just like the others. Depending on your taste, you might be okay with it in 2 coats, because while you can see a little bit of my free edge, there is so much shimmer going on that you're really never actually going to see it except in bright swatch lights, such as the ones I use. But I'm going to build it up in 3 for anyone who is curious. And these polishes dry quickly in between each coat, so you don't have to worry about dry time or dragging or anything like that. But I will note that the removal is just a slightly bit messy. It's not that it's difficult by any means. It's not difficult like a glitter, but this particular type of shimmer pigment, and I've seen it in other polishes, it just tends to sort of stick to your skin. So you will want to wipe it off your nails and then probably around the skin around your nails too. So here you can see this one in some different lighting, and overall this one I would say it has a strong blue shift to it, and then the pink base is accented by the pink color shift as well, and it just creates this really bold, vibrant, hot pink nail polish. The orange is there too at extreme angles, so this one, if you're into hot pinks and bright nails, this is beautiful. Moving along, we have Get Off My Tail, and this one is a dark pink base. It's also a jelly, and it's filled with color shifting shimmers that shift from gold to orange to red to green to pink. So this one has the same color shifts as the green and yellow before. And as you can see, compared to the last one, you definitely are already seeing more color shifts even on that first coat. And I would say this one also leans a bit more corally red versus the previous pink we just saw, which is definitely like a hot, bright Barbie pink. This one I decided to leave in 2 coats because there is so much shimmer and shift in this one that it completely distracted from my nail line. And as you can see already, the glossy top coat just enhances the sparkle. So these don't really dry dull, but it just definitely enhances the nail polish to wear a glossy top coat. This one, you can hopefully already see those color shifts are super obvious and easy. You're seeing the gold. Pink is sort of accenting it, and I feel like there's a purple backdrop to this. And at more extreme angles, you're getting the green. So this one, I was really impressed with it in 2 coats because it was pretty much opaque and just incredibly shifty. So this one is for all the pink lovers out there. Again, it's really beautiful. It's really interesting to take a look at when you're wearing it. And I did want to compare it to Splashy and Sassy, which is on the far right, Get Off My Tail on the far left, and then Bee's Knees Lacquer A Hopeless Heart is in the middle, which has similar shifting pigment, but a different base color, obviously much, much lighter. Here we have Salty Air and Mermaid Hair, and this one is a marine blue base jelly polish filled with color shifting shimmer that shifts from gold to green to blue to orange to pink. And this one has a really oceany blue vibe to it, and I really like the jelly base on this one. It applied really easily and it gave off really good opacity even on the first coat. So this one, I found it to be really well covering in 2 coats, but some people might want 3. In this one, I think because the base color was a bit more pigmented, the shift kind of shows up differently than it did in the other polishes. So that's what's interesting about this collection, is that even though they pretty much all have the same color shifting shimmer in it, except for Splashy and Sassy, they all look differently on the nails. So here it is in 2 coats plus top coat, and this one you're getting a lot of the yellow and the pink and the green. Like, look at that. The green really, really stands out beautifully in this one. This one I found to be particularly rainbowy. It's just really, really interesting, and it gives a really cool look when you're out of the direct light as well, which I find really fun because you don't always have sunshine or bright lights when you're living your everyday life, at least maybe not unless you live somewhere in California, but this one's super rainbowy. And I did want to compare this to Bee's Knees Lacquer. I think it's Magic is Life, but I think I said another one was Magic is Life, so I will update the little titles if that's wrong. But again, maybe a similar color shift, but totally different base color. And before we move on to the second collection, this one is Soul of a Mermaid, Mouth of a Sailor. And this one is an indigo purple base jelly filled with shimmers that shift from green to blue to gold to orange. So this one is super, super, super shimmery again. And this one also has a really easy formula to work with. It goes on really nicely and smoothly, that's a new word, smoothly, and it builds up really easily. This one is just so packed with shimmer. I left it in 2 coats, but again, everyone's preference is different, but there is so much shimmer going on that it distracts from the nail line in 2 coats, and 3 coats really didn't deepen the base much more, so I thought it was worth leaving in 2. And again, you can see it's just a little bit dull, so you will want a glossy top coat to bring back the shine. And this one, it's really obvious already, the shimmer in this one, especially that gold shift, it really stands out for whatever reason in the base, as does the green. I mean, I'm barely moving my fingers and you're already catching all of these colors. You can see the blue, the purple. It really is a fantastic polish, and the shifts in this one and the entire Mermaid collection really did blow my mind. I'm super impressed with the formulation and just the intensity of the shifts in these polishes. It really is an impressive use of the pigment. And here's a comparison with the Glisten Glow on the far right. In the middle, we have Paint It Pretty Polish, What's Your Element? So they're like sisters, but the Paint It Pretty Polish has a finer shimmer, and the Bee's Knees has a similar shift, but totally different base. And now we're moving into the next collection that is currently available from Glisten Glow. It's the Beach Days collection, and the first one we have is Sandy Toes and Salty Waves. So this one is described as a cantaloupe orange neon base with silver reflective glitter, and under blacklight this one glows a neon orange. So I was a bit confused at first because I was like, this is not neon, but I guess the neon comes from the fact that it glows neon under blacklight, but it's definitely coming off as just a very cantaloupe-y kind of beige color in regular lighting, and this one is packed with reflective glitter, so I will recommend using only 2 coats because it will get pretty chunky if you try to use 3. And as you can see, it dries down very, very textured, so you will probably want 2 layers of top coat. You might want to use the Glisten Glow glitter grabber and then let that dry down for 10 minutes and apply the Glisten Glow top coat. And of course, these reflective glitters show up differently depending on what lighting you find yourself in. And this is me applying the regular Glisten Glow top coat. I first went in with the glitter grabber. And now once you've applied those 2 layers of top coat, you can see just how glassy and gel-like the finish is. And those reflective glitters really are sparkly and twinkly. They catch the light really beautifully. And this polish on my skin tone is kind of like a perfect nude. It really looks like sand on a beach, and if you're into it, you could wear this without top coat and have that sort of pixie dust sandy texture that was in for a while, which I haven't seen in like almost a decade. I think OPI and Zoya did collections like that, but I don't think it caught on. So here you can see those reflective glitters just really catch the light nicely and twinkle quite a bit. And now we have Vitamin C is for Me, and this one is described as a light green neon with silver reflective glitter, and under blacklight it does glow neon green. So again, I was like, where's the neon green? But I will show you at the end. I need to get a blacklight flashlight. I don't have one, and so I ended up showing this under, as best I could, under my gel UV light lamp, and they definitely glow neon under the black light. So that claim is true. You just need to find yourself in a room that has black lighting in it, which is maybe a club, maybe a bar, maybe your bedroom. If you're into that, I have no idea. So again, I will recommend 2 coats with this just because I find it becomes almost unmanageable when I apply 3 coats of a reflective glitter polish. It's just way, way, way too much polish for me, and it kind of starts bunching up. So this is it with 1 layer of glitter grabber, and now I'm going in with the Glisten Glow top coat. So you can see that after the layer of glitter grabber, it's still textured, but adding the 2nd layer of top coat really does round everything out. It sort of fills in the spaces between the glitters and creates a super glassy finish, which allows those reflective glitters to stand out beautifully. And here you can see this is sort of a nice soft green when you have it in regular lighting. Again, the reflective glitters are very twinkly. I find the silver ones to be really light reflective, even without a camera flash. This is not any sort of special lighting, just my room and the light from the window, and it's super twinkly. Moving along, we have Life is Better in Flip Flops, and this one is an orchid neon base with silver reflective glitter, and under black light this one glows neon pink. So This one is a really pretty shade of an orchidy pink, and same formula as the other ones. It goes on pretty sheer on the first coat, but it will build up well in 2 coats. There are a ton of reflective glitters in here, as I mentioned, so you can just see how easily they pick up the light. And I don't agree with the statement that life is better in flip-flops. I can't wear flip-flops. I've never been able to wear them. So anyone who can, good for you. I just can't. I don't know what it is, but I can't get behind flip-flops. Birkenstocks? Yes, absolutely. Flip-flops? No. I just can't have something between my toes. I don't like that. So here you can see it builds up well on that second coat. Totally full coverage, and it is easy to apply onto the nail. And it dries down textured, as we've seen with the previous one. So I'm going in with Glitter Grabber. And I don't really know what magic Glitter Grabber is made of, but it definitely helps to fill in the gaps between the glitter particles, and it creates a really smooth finish after you apply regular top coat, which is what I'm doing right now. And these, I don't think I've mentioned yet, removal, so it will be a little difficult. Reflective glitters are easier to remove than, say, regular micro glitters. I don't know why, I guess because they're tinier, but you might want to hold the cotton pad on your nail for 30 seconds before removing it, so you're not scrubbing too much. And here you can say this is almost sort of like a mauvey shade, so it's interesting to me. It's kind of like a sophisticated shade of pink, and then you get hit with that reflective glitter, which is just like bam, super sparkly. It's kind of fun. And again, no special lighting here, but you can see how reflective those glitters are, and they really catch the light nicely. Last but not least, we have High Tides and Good Vibes, and I will be showing you these polishes under blacklight momentarily. This one is an icy blue neon base with silver reflective glitter, and under blacklight it glows neon blue. So this one I found interesting because I wasn't quite sure, like, if it was the base that was blue or if it was glitters, because it almost looks like there's blue glitters in here, but I guess it's the base. So anyway, I found that kind of interesting. And I did have this one dry down fully in between coats, so you can see just how textured it gets. And I find if you let it dry down too much in between coats, it does make it somewhat more difficult to apply the next layer of reflective glitter. It sort of creates like a clumping effect. That's just my experience. And anyway, this one I might have just gotten bored and I didn't want you to keep watching me apply 2 layers of top coat, so I just went in with one for the sake of simplicity and time. And here you can see that this is a really beautiful sort of deep shade of blue, and the reflective glitters stand out really nicely in this one. It definitely reminds me of the sun shimmering off of waves in the Atlantic Ocean. It's obviously a beautiful visual, and it's kind of nice to have it on your nails. And here, the camera really didn't capture it well, but hopefully you can see how cool these look under the black light, but they're really opaque, which surprised me. I did a skittle with all the colors, so you can see the pink, the cantaloupe, the green, and the blue. They covered really well, so it was a really even black light effect in just 2 coats plus the 2 layers of top coat. My favorites are a bit of a toss-up. I think maybe Splashy and Sassy is probably my favorite. In the bottle, I thought it looked a little disappointing and not as shifty as the others, but it has this magical glow quality to it. and it's hot pink, so what's not to love? And surprisingly, I guess it's not really surprising because greens, I don't know. I don't often actually wear greens, but they always kind of end up being my favorite. So I don't know what that means, but Mermaid Wishes and Starfish Kisses is stunning and so shifty. So if you're into intense shifts, then I recommend that one. And I also recommend Soul of a Mermaid, Mouth of a Sailor, because that one is just wild. The shifts in it are unparalleled, never ending, super entertaining. So let me know in the comments if you are excited by any of these polishes. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're going to pick anything up from the Glisten Glow website or perhaps at their table at the Polish Beauty Expo. And have a great day wherever you are. Bye.